So what we got here then, slimy fertilers? What we have here, right there under my finger, is a Matchbox Carmichael Commando fire tender, fire response vehicle, fire thing. Yeah, it's a I don't know when was it. The tramp stamp on the bottom says it's 175 and it was made in 1982. The actual Carmichael Commando vehicle, they started making them kind of early to mid 70s. What it actually is a they take a Range Rover, the classic Range Rover from the time, and they stretch it out, give it a 6-wheel base. Unfortunately though, it's still only a 4-wheel drive. Even though it's got 6 wheels, it's only a 4-wheel drive. It's basically, these wheels are powered, these 2 wheels are just there to roll along and basically take the weight of this huge compartment that's put on the back, which carries firefighting equipment. This one I just got off eBay, very cheap, because I think it was about £1.10 including postage, from one of the sellers that I buy a lot of, you know, resto junkers, scrappers, whatever off, because he has, I don't know how he does it, but he just goes out and he just gets loads and loads and loads, and you know, he puts them all on cheap, and even if they sell at 50p each, he's still making a profit. But yeah, so I got this on there. As you can see, all the paint's chipped up. We do have some nice detail on here. We've got the open rear compartment, which inside you can see molded details such as a traffic cone, a shovel, a hose of some sort, some tools, things like that, which you need to, you know, obviously fight fires with. We've got closed compartments here on the side, which also will contain tools. The actual Carmichael Commando saw a lot of use with the RAF and the Royal Navy, because obviously a crash happens or a fire happens somewhere remote, you can't get your normal fire engine out there very quickly, so a 4-wheel drive vehicle is very much used. Or, you know, could have been better if it was a 6-wheel drive vehicle, but that'd involve messing around with the you know, the transmission and everything. And yeah, 4-wheel drive does the trick just as good as 6-wheel drive. The problem with this one, other than the scratch paint, but that's not really a problem because we can sort that out, no worries, is that there should be a rack on the top here. Unfortunately, it's been broken off by some over enthusiastic child in the past, and like I say, toys are far too good for children. They just break them and they don't appreciate them. Even more so these days, that they actually make toys deliberately easy to break, so mummy and daddy have to go and spend another £30 on pleasing little Billy. Little Billy, the little bastard, doesn't appreciate what he's got. Yeah, the clamp on the top would hold a ladder, but that's long gone into the mists of time, so I'll have to make it. The actual Carmichael Commando itself did have various different configurations. For example, some of them would only have, you know, one thing on, and it would be stretched out so that they could have additional men in there. Some of them had a water cannon on the top, or a foam cannon, because being as that they were mainly used by the you know, like the RAF and stuff like that, things like jet fuel, things like that, you don't want to be spraying water on it, and a little thing like this isn't going to be able to carry that much water unless it can connect up to a mains. So they would use foam cannons because foam is a lot better for putting out fires, oil fires, jet fuel fires, things like that. The ladder would also be useful for climbing up things, but yeah, so it's not in bad condition overall. To start us off, I mean, we've got the all the wheels are there. Looks like some of the axles are a little bit bent. We can sort that out. Got a little bit of carpet, I think it's carpet or hair or something like that, wrapped around one of the axles, which is actually preventing one of the wheels from, you know, fitting snugly into place. We can sort that. But I don't know, is this going to be a custom, is this going to be a resto? I haven't decided yet. I may go for the foam cannon option, I may just put a ladder on the top. I need to make a ladder. Yes, I can probably buy one somewhere that's been 3D printed or whatever. It'll be hideously expensive, and I can probably make a decent enough ladder to go on the top, just from bits and bobs that I've got laying around the house and things like that. But yeah, so we're going to do this. If I remember rightly, this particular version, the Matchbox version, originally came, it was red, and it had like a some sort of stripe each side. There was also an army version that was in kind of, you know, British Army green. Not quite sure what the other stuff is. For some reason, Army fire engines, they always have to paint them green. That's why you get green goddesses and stuff like that. Everything in the Army has to be green. You know, rather than, you know, it's an emergency vehicle, let's have it bright red so people can actually see it. Oh, I've just noticed there the little beacons on the top are a bit ground down as well, so no doubt the same child who snapped off the ladder has also done this on the fucking driveway or something like that and ground down the beacons. So I might end up having to get the milliput out and make some new beacons for it. But yeah, overall very good condition, and yeah, I can't complain. So I'm going to crack it open, and we'll see what we get once I've cracked it open. Basically, I'm thinking this isn't going to be too difficult a job. So let's get cracking.
12 seconds later.
Right. Yeah. So I've drilled it, and thankfully the 3 mushrooms that were underneath didn't give me much trouble. Oh, so it's not going to blow up for you, but fuck it. There we go, it's apart now. So yeah, we've got what we got here. Oh, let's have a look. Why is that not coming out? Why is that not coming out? I need something to poke it with. That's one thing that's quite useful for any purpose, is having a good pokey stick. So yeah, so I've got it. Thing, body, no problems with the body, that can just go straight into the stripper. The internals, bit dirty, need a clean, but otherwise fine. There, we've got the wheels, we've got this horrible carpet fibre from yesteryear. I think it's carpet fibre, I hope it's carpet fibre. It's not somebody's fucking pubes or something. Yeah. Yeah, oh god, there's more. Yeah, it's carpet, we've got green bits in it, so it's somebody's very tasteful carpet from the 1980s. That's not going to come off. I'm going to have to get the knife around that. And there's another set of wheels here with, oh my god, it's got, Jesus Christ, I don't know who's dinged this, but fucking hell, they must have had a really poor quality carpet for that much fucking fibre to come off it. Yeah, so that's one set of wheels and thing, and then we'll have to get the knife around this one and get it out, because Jesus Christ, there's enough fibres on here to make a fucking toupee for somebody. Eek. Yeah, I'll knife that one. Yep, the base plate just needs a clean, be fine. Windscreen needs a clean. There's no point in painting the insides because this blue windscreen is very, very dark, so it doesn't matter what I do, you'll not be able to see the insides. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a clean. The beacons do indeed look like they've been ground down, so I might build them up a little bit more with some milliput or something. So yeah, that one was surprisingly easy to start off. So we'll just get the old pot of jizz out. See, I renewed it because it was basically getting to the point where it didn't have its potency anymore. It just needs a bit of a stir, that's all. It's got like a weird skin on the top. It's horrible. It's like separated into the stuff that takes the paint off and then whatever medium it goes through. But yeah, so we'll just plop that in there, give it a bit of a spin round so we get paint stripper all over the body panels and everything like that, and all inside, even though there's paint inside. Yeah, there's paint inside, but yeah, we don't need it. So yeah, so that's in the stripper. We'll set it right, scrape the crap off, put the lid back on. Fucking condensation there. Put the lid back on, give it a bit of a shake up for luck, and we'll pop it on the side. And yeah, so it just leaves me with these bits to see to now. Get rid of this fucking fluff or pubic hair or whatever it is. Yeah. And yeah, just give these a wash. Hot soapy water usually does the trick, and then I can get around to starting making the bits that I need to finish it off. It's going quite well so far. I can say that's unusual. There's not been any problems or anything. And I've just probably jinxed it there, but yeah, cracking.
3 hours later.
Paint stripping done. So yeah, came off nice and easy, nice long soak in the paint stripper. It just fell, the paint just fell off, no problems. So before I get to undercoating it and everything, I need to think about what I'm going to do with sort of the rebuild, the conversion, the custom or whatever. And I've decided I'm going to put a basically a sort of water stroke foam cannon on the top. That shouldn't be too hard to make. I'm going to block this rear hole. See here, I'm going to block that up with a bit of milliput, and then I'm going to use this hole here as the attachment point for the foam cannon. And I'm also going to make a ladder for it, and I've decided that, basically the body's going to be red. It's a fire engine, it's got to be red, but I'm going to do a kind of more modern colour scheme of having red up here and then yellow and red Battenbergs down here, which I'm going to be freehanding, which may or may not turn out good depending on whether my hands decide to play ball or not. The side compartments and everything will just be as normal, and I'll the rear compartment, which is opened, that has the internals that have the little bits of firefighting equipment in there. They'll get a bit of detailing and everything like that. So yeah, not too bad. I mean, I washed up the other bits of it, cleaned up the shadow, just give that a scrub. This here, there's the internals. I'm gonna give that a spray of black. Because there's no point in painting the actual interior with the seats, because you can't see them because of the blue windscreen. But I'm going to give it a spray black, just to make it easier to paint the silver shutter panels on the sides, and the little firefighting bits and bobs here, plus also the front grille, which will be nicely silvered. Like I said, the windscreen and the beacons are moulded in blue plastic. I may end up repainting the beacons so that they stand out a little bit more. Depends how the body paint goes. If the body paint is alright, I mean, let me just pop the windscreen back in here a bit. You can't really see the beacons on the top, because they've been worn down so much. I was going to try and build them up a little bit with milliput or something, but I don't think that'll work very well. So what I might do is I'm just going to repaint them in a light blue to give them contrast against the red body that's going to be going on. So yeah, so we're going to get all set up, ready for spraying on the base coat and the undercoat and the base coat and then the top coat. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I've got some red, I think it's Mars red, very nice sort of bright red colour, that will do absolutely fine for the top. For the base coat it's getting white, maybe even grey, I don't know. I wish I had some red primer. I could have got some red primer, but I don't really see that much use for it other than for painting red stuff. Yeah, but anyways, that's where we are at the moment, and everything's all cleaned up and ready to go. I'm going to do the custom conversion work first before I do any kind of painting or anything like that. But I can give these two plastic bits a blast with the old matte black. There we go. So we'll be back in a bit. Well, I say in a bit from your perspective. From my perspective, it'll probably be like several hours up to several days, depending on how long this takes me and whether my fucking stuff happens in the meantime. But yeah, this one's going to be a nice easy one, hopefully, and like I say, I've probably jinxed it by saying that, so let's see how we get on.
Several days later.
Aha, there we go. Yeah, so I cleaned it, it's cleaned up, and I've given it its first base coats. The top is Carnival Red, Ford Carnival Red I think it was, said on the can, and the bottom is just a yellow colour. I can't remember which one it is. Had to mask it off to get the two-tone, I'll show you some more close-up pictures somewhere around about here. Yeah, but I had to mask it off to get the two-tone. Sprayed red first, then yellow, and the masking tape did pull off some of the red, so I'm going to have to touch that up. And also, for some reason, the yellow didn't settle very well. I don't know why, but it's all dry and everything. It's just that on this side we've got like bits of red showing through. I also made the foam cannon, which you probably can't see very well here, but it is on the pictures, so there we go. Just basically a thick paper clip with bent round, and then the nozzle tube is just a cotton bud. Fit the cotton bud over the end, cut it to size, and then super glued it into place, and we have a functional water cannon, which I drilled a little hole out in the top here, and in it goes. Well, it will do when I press it in a bit harder, but yeah, in it goes, and it'll sit on the top there. I'll paint that properly when we get around to it. I've just sort of base coated it with some black. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. I'm going to do the Battenberg freehand, like I said, with some red. So hopefully when I get that done, I might record myself actually doing the painting and speed it up a bit for you. But yeah, I'm going to paint the Battenbergs on, and yeah, we're there. It's been very nice and easy so far. I mean, it's what have I been? I've been at it. Was it 4 days? I actually wasted 2 days because I had some other stuff on. But so far, there's the equivalent of maybe a couple. Well, I don't know, maybe 2-3 hours work here. If I'd have done it all at once, well, I can't do it all at once because I have to wait for things like paint to dry and filler to dry and all stuff like that. But yeah, so we're getting along quite well here. So next up will be a painting the Battenberg and stuff like that. Yeah, cool, smashing, awesome, super, fabulous, ace magic.
3 hours later.
Right then, so since last time, yep, I've tidied up the overspray and everything on there. I gave it another coat of red over the top because some of the undercoat was still showing through after it had dried fully. And the yellow I've gone over with some Tamiya yellow because the spray, for some reason I gave it another spray coat and it just wouldn't stick. I don't know why. You'd spray it on and then leave it, and when it dries, and then when I look closely at it, it just wouldn't stick in certain places. So yeah, I finished doing the internals, but you don't need to see them just yet, or the add-ons and everything like that I'm doing. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint the Battenbergs, the red and yellow Battenbergs on there. I've got three choices of colour available to me. I've got just Tamiya X7 red, but I don't have much of that, and it's gloss red, and I like to use that as a kind of a top coat, a finish coat, if you know what I mean. I've also got some Vallejo dark vermilion and some Vallejo carmine red. See, the red doesn't need to match the actual red of the body, so I think I'm going to go with carmine red on this one. It's become a lot easier to get Vallejo paint now round here than it has Tamiya, because we have a shop called Boyes, or Boyes, B-O-Y-E-S, and they are rather prolific stockists of Vallejo paint products, as well as Games Workshop paint products, and they put them right next to each other. For some reason, the Games Workshop stuff stays with a layer of dust over it. The Vallejo stuff, the bigger selection, and people are always buying it. I wonder why. Oh wait, that's because it's cheaper and generally better. Yeah, so I buy Vallejo stuff. Just as an interesting aside, I have also recently bought metallic acrylic paint from Poundland. It is basically bottom of the barrel grade paint. When you just take it straight out the tube and try and do anything with it, it smears. It's weird, even when you decant it into like a something and then give it a swizzle and a stir, maybe put a bit of thinner or water or something like that into it. Water's usually fine for acrylics unless you're using an airbrush, but it just goes, how can I describe it? It spreads, it even on the brush, it spreads around like suntan lotion or moisturizer, you know, where you get the big globs of it and then little tiny streaks and everything like that. It really is a pain in the arse. But I've been experimenting with mixing these metallics with base colours like black. I've done a few things in black, mixed with black. For example, I mixed some Vallejo gloss black with this, which is a sort of metallic red colour, and it produced a rather nice deep purple colour. I also found out that Vallejo gloss black is actually a very dark purple. So that could probably account for the purple thing. I'm going to try some, although I've got some of this cheapo artist's acrylic here, which even though it's basically bottom of the barrel kind of paint, it's really good. It's really good for making ink washers out of as well. But I digress. So I'm going to start painting the Batbergs. Like I said, I'm going to do this freehand. I don't have access to facilities to print decals or transfers or whatever you want to call them, because I just don't have a printer. I can't do it, so I'll just put a little spot of Carmine red on my little mixing thing here, which I should probably throw away and get a new one, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I shall just make my first mark, which is where I want it to go, and I want the first Battenberg to be about there. Okay, the first mark is done. Good luck, everybody. Freehanding is a lot harder than it looks. Let's have some hyper time, shall we?
Start up. Time out.
Well, that's one side done. I've kind of fucked up a bit here at the back with a really long piece. I can tidy that up. I can tidy that up easily. In fact, I'll just do it now. But yeah, the Battenbergs are on one side. I'll have to repeat them on the other side, obviously. But yeah, that went on really nicely, really easily. Not much by way, even though I've now got horrible cramp in my left hand. It's hurting and my hands are starting to shake. So yeah, look, there we go. Hands are trembling, and yeah, so I'm going to let this dry. Basically, I've just done like a light base followed by a bit more of a heavier coat. I'll have to put a top coat again on them again. I'm going to repeat the exercise on the other side once my hands have calmed down a little bit, and then we'll come back to you with the completed, well, sort of finished paint job and all the bits there for you to look at, and then we'll stick it back together. So yeah, I'm still happy, I'm still pleased that this is going so well. Cool.
12 seconds later.
So here we are then, all painted and ready for assembly. I've done the Battenbergs on both sides of the body. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Did a little bit of ink wash and everything, just to put on some detail in, like that, and that's the body done. The internal part of it, like I say, I didn't bother painting the seats or anything because you can't see them, but yeah, I'll just put some silver and stuff on there, and filled in some of the stuff in the back there. Other than that, that's it. Oh yeah, and the front grille as well, and then just gave the bottom plate a, you know, going over with some gloss black. Got the foam cannon here, then we've coloured in the beacons on there, made a ladder, and gave the wheels a refreshing coat of gloss black, and then some chrome on the rims. So there we are. So we're all ready to you know, put it together now. I'll just put some pictures in of some more, you know, better close-up shots, and you know, then we'll do the final reveal. yep, there we go. It's done. All together, put together, went together without any trouble. Just like the rest of this one, rest of, you know, this Resto custom whatnot. Yeah, absolutely no trouble. This one's been an absolute pleasure to do. No problems with it whatsoever. It came apart really nicely. Paint stripped off it really nicely. Paint went back on, not too bad. And then it all went back together nice, and didn't cause me to want to headbutt anything. So yeah, there we are. A 1970 something, I can't remember what. Carmichael Commando fire tender, crash tender, fire truck, fire response vehicle, whatever you want to call it. All put together, nicely done, with a new little ladder for, you know, climbing up things, because that's, I can't think of any other use for a ladder apart from during wrestling. You can hit people with ladders, I suppose. And a foam cannon, which does actually still, because of the way I've put it in, it does actually rotate, so, you know, get a guy and he can point it wherever he wants and stuff, as long as you don't want to turn it any further round than that, because the ladder kind of gets in the way. But yeah, there we are. It's all done. It's all nice. I like it. It's unusual for me to do a fire vehicle. I'm not normally a, you know, fire vehicle kind of guy. I'm more police vehicle. I like police vehicles, but you know, occasionally just switching it out and going out of your comfort zone. You know, going out of your comfort zone does make it, you know, does make things a little bit different. You know, you can't do, you know, muscle cars and sports cars and police cars and stuff like that all the time. So it is nice to, you know, do something different occasionally. But yeah, all the wheels still roll, obviously, because of the way it goes. I haven't done a wheel swap on it because I, one, don't have any wheels to swap out for it, and two, the only wheels that I do have for it, I only have in sets of 4, not 6, and they're like muscle car wheels. And somehow I don't think it's appropriate for a fire vehicle to have muscle car wheels. So yeah. So right, well, thank you for watching this video, and you know, if you want to make any kind of donation to my PayPal to help me pay for paints and cars and other sundry stuff that goes with the territory, I'll leave my thingy at the end with my little PayPal link, and you can drop me some money if you want. If you don't, that's fine. You know, if you don't think I deserve your hard-earned readies, then, you know, that's fine too. But any money that I do receive will be received with thanks and will be put to good use. So yep, so if you made it this far, like I said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with something else.